This is breaking news. President Trump says he is placing the Metropolitan Police Department of Washington, D.C. under federal control. He's also deploying the National Guard to the streets of Washington, evoking the Home Rule Act, Section 740. This is to address the rising crime rate in Washington. The president is speaking now in the James Brady briefing room at the White House.
Donald Trump is unleashing the FBI, Homeland Security, ICE, sheriffs, whomever he can gather up to attack D.C., where black people live. He's attacking black communities in blue states all over this country. And we know what ICE is doing to brown communities. But you got folk on the far left, many, but not all. You got to say that or else the internet goes crazy. Most are white, but not all. Telling us we need to be more concerned about what's happening over in Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. Let me tell you something. You know what we're worried about? You know what black and brown people in this country are worried about? The vast majority? We're worried about our communities. Because your parents and your grandparents, your aunts and your uncles, and all the people in your circle, they voted for this guy who's attacking us. That's what we're worried about, our own.
You know, that man has been through so much. He's a good man. You know, in spite of some of the things that they say about him, he's really trying to lead this country with the utmost respect. He just gets in there and does what he has to do no matter what. He's been through everything, just like when they tried to assassinate him. My gosh, I love President Trump. That old orange felon ass, trash bag, fucking swollen ankle ass having orange motherfucker. He ain't did shit for this motherfucking country but divide that shit. Fucking asshole. I wish he'd motherfucking get arrested. Nah, how about he just fucking disappear?
You know, we have some real ignorant black people in this country. Real ignorant. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Marc Perspective. I do apologize. I have a cold right now, so I might sound a little different, but my goal is to create videos explaining my point of view on current events, social issues, and political issues. And right now I want to talk about the federalizing the DC police and Washington, D.C., of course, and why this is a good thing. So let's talk about it. So imagine a capital city where carjackings are routine, assaults are surging, and the cost of crime per household exceeds $2,600 annually. Now ask yourself, if this was Baghdad or Bogota, would we tolerate it? Why do we tolerate it in Washington, D.C., the symbolic heart of American democracy? So, President Trump's decision to federalize the D.C. police isn't a power grab, as liberals are going to try to make this. It's a moral intervention. It's about restoring order, protecting lives, and reclaiming a city that has become a cautionary tale of urban decay.
So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks. Very good. We just got him. Most highly recommended person. And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police. And those people are the ones that want to help you. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement. and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the streets. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed, by the way. We're going to have National Guard. But Pete Hegseth will tell you about it. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in, it's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership.
So you can see there are a couple of videos where people are basically upset with Trump because they feel that they're taking over the black community, that Trump is trying to take over the black community when Trump is actually trying to save lives and protect the neighborhood so that people, tourists, visitors, they could come to Washington, D.C. and not feel like, praying that they don't get mugged or see a black person come in and become afraid. That's the truth. So, so the question I have is, and I understand why blacks are doing this, because sometimes we martyr bad behavior, and I always ask, why do we elevate individuals whose actions, if stripped of context, would be condemned and not celebrated? And I don't know. It's as if we see bad behavior as some type of rebellion. Maybe, I don't know. It's really sad. We use over policing. I remember a time when, in Baltimore, the people said, we don't want the police in our neighborhoods because they're killing us. And gang members said that they were going to protect the streets. They don't need the police. Next day, what happens? The police will get a flood of phone calls because those same gang members was terrorizing the neighborhood. So you have to ask yourself, why do blacks continue to martyr bad behavior? We martyr George Floyd. George Floyd was no hero. He was no symbol of greatness. He was a criminal. We who's this lady who was in, I guess she was sleeping with her boyfriend. The police came and they shot her when the boyfriend who was in there was shooting at the police, and she just happens to have gotten shot, and they want to call this lady a hero. I cannot remember her name. I will get back to you on that one to find out what her name is. But I pull up some stats to show what's going on in D.C. In 2024, over 60% of homicide victims in major U.S. cities were black, despite black Americans making up only 13% of the population. Okay, in D.C., violent crime disproportionately affects black neighborhoods, with Ward 8 seeing homicide rates 5 times higher than Ward 3. And yet, many of these communities also report low trust in police and local leadership, creating a vacuum where street credibility replaces civic accountability. That's something that we really need to look at, because the numbers don't lie. Blacks are committing heinous acts, murder, leading homicide, and we're failing in every metric. Yet blacks, and I'm not going to say all blacks, because we have hardworking blacks that go out there, work, pay their taxes, save their money, and just want to live a comfortable life. And then you have other blacks who dominates the media, the social media, and with some of the dumbest things you'll ever see, hear, and this is the way they see us. And we need to really regroup, take shape of what we stand for. And if not, we are going to be destroyed. We have to ask ourselves, are we mistaking defiance for dignity? Are we glorifying pain instead of healing it? This is real. And if we don't come to grips, we are going to fall. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to keep saying this. We are going to be fourth in population by 2065. We are not leading in any metrics. Majority of the time when we run business, we fail. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing to fix this problem?
So Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C., and he has also placed the D.C. Police Department under federal control. Now, this is huge because the day-to-day operations of the D.C. Police Department is ran by the council, the D.C. mayor that handles the budget, that chooses the chief of police. Well, he's taken that control out of the local government and put it on the federal government. Now, Trump's reason for doing this is he said that it hasn't been ran right and the DC crime rate is up the yin-yang. He even said that it's worse than the crime in Colombia and in Mexico. Now, in addition to that, he is also wanting to get rid of what he says are the squalors, homeless people, homeless encampments, where people who are paying money to pay rent don't feel comfortable coming out of their home because they don't feel safe. And that's not just because of the homeless people living there, but he says that there are other things going on that the homeless people are engaging in, whether that be substance abuse, alcoholism, theft, crime. And he is also talking about the juvenile crime rate, juveniles who are committing crimes within DC. And he threw out a couple of unalivings that just happened recently at the hands of juveniles.
Police, as the police are standing up there in uniform, they're standing and they're screaming at him an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems directly from the abject failures of the city's local leadership. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central, no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime, totally weak on crime.
So I wanted to talk about what that lady said. She talked about the juveniles and said that Trump talked a bit about that. And I pulled up some stats. I wanted to talk about that. Between 2016 and 2022, the Metropolitan Police Department averaged 2,235 juvenile arrests per year. Now, that's a lot for juveniles who should be home studying or getting involved in some type of activity. Instead, they're out here committing all types of crime. So, if you think about it, that's about 52 arrests per 1,000 youth ages 10 to 17. These are the ages where these youths are just really acting up. And that's well above the national average. So, we really have to take a step back and stop with the racism and black, white, this and that, and really start holding those accountable, including these parents who allow their kids to be out in the streets 2-3 o'clock in the morning. What are juveniles doing 2-3 o'clock in the morning? Anybody that's out in the street that time of night, they're not out there looking to help somebody. They're looking to help themselves, So let's see, I wrote down some other stuff. Violent crime surge among youth. So, according to DC Witness, youth aged 15 to 20 were responsible for 11.38% of homicides and non-fatal shootings in 2021 to 2022. 12.35% in 2022 to 2023, and a sharp rise to 21.43 in 2023 to 2024. I want you to look at that. It was 12.35 2022 to 2023, and then there was they call it a sharp rise. That's just a nice way to say, wow. 21.43% in 2023 to 2024. That's nearly 100% increase in youth perpetrated violent crimes in just 3 years. It's sickening. Okay, that's sickening. So let's go on. Let's see. Victims aged 20 to 25, however, nearly doubled from 14.81% to 28.57%. I don't know. The data shows that there is a serious problem, especially with youth in DC. And the mayor should have, I don't know. I know she did a curfew, but the mayor should have been more aggressive using the police force. I remember former mayor Rudy Giuliani cleaning up the streets of New York. And he did it by teaming up with the police department. And then they sent the police force out into various neighborhoods, especially in high crime neighborhoods. And Lord and behold, business started coming to New York City, because the only thing they had in New York City back then was on Times Square was a whole bunch of adult theaters, especially for gays and everything, and just problems. There was nothing great about Times Square, especially in the 70s, early 80s, 70s, 80s, when they elected Giuliani over Dinkins, which thank God they did. Giuliani went in with a headstrong attitude, and he cleaned New York City up and brought business back. Now business are leaving again New York City because, once again, New York City, they voted for a liberal, and liberals just destroyed New York City. So I don't even know what to say. Sometimes you might have to, even though you want to feel like because liberals just keep saying that Democrats are racist, they're this, they're that. And, not Democrats. Democrats keep saying that Republicans are racist. And that's not even true. In fact, I'm starting to think that Democrats are the racist ones who's causing nothing but division in this country.
We voted for Donald Trump, knowing he was going to deport all of these people. Knowing he was going to deport every single motherfucker that came across that border illegally. Knowing he was going to deport all of these rapists, these murderers, and these fucking gangbangers back to where they came from. That's why we voted for him. And we also don't give a fuck about the tariffs. We don't give a shit about China. We want all of our shit made here. And we want to make sure we stop paying this illegal income tax that wasn't supposed to be in law in the fucking first place. It's the whole reason why we had a revolution. Taxes. So what we want to know is why every Democrat voted no on no tax on tips. Why every Democrat voted no on no tax on overtime. Why every Democrat voted no on no taxes on Social Security. It's because you don't give a fuck about the people. You've been stealing the income tax to enrich yourselves, and a lot of you sons of bitches are going to jail. And we want to see the fireworks. First it was the judges. Your ass is next.
Leaving the Democrats will make you realize that they are like that cheating ex-boyfriend. We caught them cheating on us with the illegals. And so now they are mad at us. They come and they say mean and hateful things to us. You know that ex-boyfriend who says nobody's ever going to want you. Well, the Democrats say stuff like that. Like, MAGA doesn't really like you because you're black. We also learn how racist they are, that they're the real racist. They say mean and hateful, racially charged things to us, and they stalk us too. They're always in our comment section. But I thought you didn't like me. Why are you always here? Yeah, they become stalkers, and we see them continue to carry on a relationship with their illegals. Like, dude, you said you weren't cheating, but here you are. Really, really cheating. Taking our taxpayer money and buying them stuff with it, taking them on trips. Yeah, they do that in our faces, but they do realize that they miss us. Not because they love us, it's because they know they need us. The midterms are going to be coming up really, really soon, and they're going to come back to our cookouts and our churches and make us a whole bunch of promises like they always have. And, the thing is, there are some black people who don't mind being side chicks to the Democrats, and they will still vote for the Democrats. The Democrats will go to their church and swear up and down that they really, really love them, knowing they don't. As soon as they leave the church, they gonna go to a taco truck. But yeah, it's like, if you don't really like us, why are you always stalking us? But it is that they don't really like us or love us. They just know they need us. And so, as much as they're mean and they're hateful and always in our comment section saying racially charged stuff, at night, when they think of us, they touch themselves.
So, as I was saying before, we can't keep calling chaos culture and expect peace to follow. We can't keep monitoring dysfunction and wonder why discipline disappears. And we sure as hell can't keep rejecting intervention while our streets bleed and our children bury their futures before they've lived them. Okay? So Trump federalizing the DC police isn't a problem. It's a solution. And I feel like when local leadership fails the community, then federal leadership is needed. Okay? It's not to dominate. I'm not trying to defend that move. Well, actually, I am defending this move. Okay? I think by federalizing the police department and basically taking over the streets, I think it'll create some form of stability in Washington D.C. Okay? And I also feel like if Black Americans want to rise and stop failing in every metric, if Black Americans want to rise, then sometimes we need to swallow that hard pill. We need to take accountability. We need to accept the fact that Black youths are causing so much harm, so much chaos. Blacks in general, why we lead in prison population, lead in illiteracy, because we are not educating our youths. We are not. And while everybody else is winning, we are failing. We're failing miserably. So I hope a lot of you guys can take that into consideration. It's not a good look. And to martyr bad behavior and act like, this is some type of rebellion is asinine. So please step back. Let President Trump be the president and hold others accountable. Because I know there's some blacks that just are support it. I know there's blacks that support it. I support this. I support this move. So please step back, take a look at the bigger picture, and realize that Black Americans are not winning. Even though we got football players, basketball players, and actors and actresses, we are not winning. The majority of blacks are failing. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. We need more viewership, so please like, subscribe, share this channel, and tell your friends. Leave a comment. I will respond back to as many as I can. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.